Chingy says Holiday Inn didn't give him a single free room despite his hit song.
What the hell?
Now, in an exclusive interview with Hip Hop DX, Chingy said the Holiday Inn hotel chain never offered the St. Louis rapper or his team a free room, despite the song likely making the hotel, quote, a lot of money.
In cash.
Nope, Chingy told DX after being asked if he ever got a free Holiday Inn stay. Quote, we tried to work with them when I came out with that song. I'm pretty sure I made them millions. I'm pretty sure I made them a lot of money. They wouldn't work with us. They would not work with us.
Pay me my money.
Mike, they smoked, drank, played spades
Exactly.
at the Holiday Inn.
Well, do you think that they ever gave anything to Sugar Hill Gang? Because they sang that song, Hotel, Motel, Holiday Inn. Yeah, I don't think they got anything.
There's a statistic that says you got to hear something 3.2 times. I just learned that today for it to stick in your brain, right?
Wow.
So the more you hear it, the more you're thinking like, oh yeah, we should stay somewhere, Holiday Inn. But if you listen to the lyrics and you hear that he's smoking, drinking, playing dominoes at the Holiday Inn, you're like, do I want to stay there? It's probably going to be loud.
He's being an idiot. Like what? Like he can't see that nobody would want people partying at their hotel, at their family hotel.
Chingy says Holiday Inn didn't give him a single free room despite his hit song.
What the hell?
Now, in an exclusive interview with Hip Hop DX, Chingy said the Holiday Inn hotel chain never offered the St. Louis rapper or his team a free room, despite the song likely making the hotel, quote, a lot of money.
In cash.
Nope, Chingy told DX after being asked if he ever got a free Holiday Inn stay. Quote, we tried to work with them when I came out with that song. I'm pretty sure I made them millions. I'm pretty sure I made them a lot of money. They wouldn't work with us. They would not work with us.
Pay me my money.
Mike, they smoked, drank, played spades
Exactly.
at the Holiday Inn.
Well, do you think that they ever gave anything to Sugar Hill Gang? Because they sang that song, Hotel, Motel, Holiday Inn. Yeah, I don't think they got anything.
There's a statistic that says you got to hear something 3.2 times. I just learned that today for it to stick in your brain, right?
Wow.
So the more you hear it, the more you're thinking like, oh yeah, we should stay somewhere, Holiday Inn. But if you listen to the lyrics and you hear that he's smoking, drinking, playing dominoes at the Holiday Inn, you're like, do I want to stay there? It's probably going to be loud.
He's being an idiot. Like what? Like he can't see that nobody would want people partying at their hotel, at their family hotel.
You are a fucking moron.
Growing up in West Covina, did you and the homies like, let's rent a hotel and have people over?
Yes,
Everybody
like Motel
did that.
6. Yeah.
Yeah, we did that.
It was
We
always
did that.
Motel 6 in Baldwin Park. One time, me and Sherilyn and my mom went up to Niagara Falls with the kids, and we spent the night in this hotel, and there was a high school party there.
Really?
Yeah, I slept right through the night, though. When I'm tired, I'm tired, man. I just fall asleep, man. You can't do nothing about it.
Say goodnight, motherfucker.
If you own Holiday Inn, would you want Chingy promoting Holiday Inn?
I'd still wait another 20 years till he's like really old, retirement age. And then it'd be kind of funny at that point. Like, hey, Chingy.
Oh, for like a joke or something? Yeah, maybe. I don't know, but I don't want him. I'm not trying to promote partying at my hotel, dude.
Bunch of hookers and cocaine.
No, dude. Those people at the hotel work too hard, too. Chingy's acting like he did them a favor. He screwed them. They should sue him, dude. That's what I would do. If I were Holiday Inn, I'd be like, guess what, bro? You didn't ask if we could use your name. That's a trademark name. We're suing you. And we're suing you for the rights of this song. And you're going to give us every penny you made on this song. On this
midday getaway.
All right.
Let me show you how to make the fortune you have always dreamed about.
Check this out.
I'll show you how to make all kind of money.
Yeah, boy.
Will make you financially independent.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Here's a secret for you to make millions.
What were you doing, Adley, with the intro?
Dude, I think what happened was I got the keyboard on my lap.
Oh,
I think my fat gut hit the space bar.
Oh.
I was like,
I was like, oh, dude, did I send him the wrong video? Because I edited a TikTok video that looked just like that. I'm like, oh man, did I send him the TikTok? So I'm like checking my email while it's
I keep
playing.
the
I was
keyboard
like,
right here on my lap, and it's all.
all right, folks, for all of you who are wondering why you just watched a Chino Brother video before the Chino Brother video, before you saw our boy Frankie Perez, who is soon to be out here, that is what you call the midday getaway. So every day, just about, Adley and I put up a new story on YouTube. And if you guys haven't been to our YouTube channel and seen our midday getaways, you're missing out, because of a lot of our guests have been cut up and put on the midday getaway. And that particular midday getaway was a work of art. What say you, sir?
I loved it. And so yeah, not only Chingy, bringing him like out of obscurity with this midday getaway, just put him out there like, oh yeah. And so in a weird way, people are probably going to start listening to Holiday Inn the song. So all the money he's not getting paid from Holiday Inn for making that song back in the 90s, 2000s, we're helping him make some more money.
That's exactly what we're doing.
That's
exactly what we're doing. And
but dope editing, by the way.
The reason why Adley brings up that we are bringing him money or making him a lot of money is because we want our vig, we want our taste, we want our beak sweat. You understand us, Chingy? We're Asian people. We like money. Okay, DJ EVP checking in. What's crack-a-lackin', baby? Good to see you. But you know what? Look, man, we've got an OG here. We're wasting his time. I want to speak with him. You want to speak with him. Give me 1 second here. You know what I'm doing? I think you know what I'm doing, right?
Yep, 3. Hey, tell me when you're ready.
Almost. All right, I'm ready.
3.
Ladies and gentlemen, Frankie Perez.
DJ. Good California, Central Cali.
Big audience.
Yeah,
big audience tonight.
We got a live studio audience, and they're waiting.
Half of them are at Adley's house, half of them are at my house.
Yeah, they're like, oh wait, who's the guest tonight? What? Make room. We want to come through. Frankie Perez. Frankie, welcome to the show, man.
Yeah, man, welcome to the show, bro. Thank you for coming on.
Yes, yeah, definitely, dude. EVP is giving you the what's up, homie? No doubt. Now, Frankie, Frankie's one of the originals here in Bakersfield, because Frankie, think about it, DJing really came around in what, the 70s with turntables?
Yes, yeah, in the 70s.
Yeah, I want to hear about this,
and,
man.
And Noe G saying, "What's up? What's up, Noe G?"
Noe, good to see you. I hope you watch that midday getaway. For all y'all that are saying hello, rewind real quick. Watch that midday getaway. Tell me and Adley how funny we are. All right, let's get back to this
Angela
legend.
too. What's up, Angela? And so Frankie, it starts out you basically just being a music enthusiast. I mean, what did you do? Because we talked about you just getting vinyl and stuff and records. I mean, how does it start? Where does it start?
With me, it started. I was a paper boy in 5th grade. I delivered.
Wait. You're from Bakersfield, correct, Frankie?
I am from Bakersfield.
Okay, go for it.
And I had a paper route, and when I got my first payday from it, I think it was like $30 for the month or something like that. I went to it was called Sages in East Bakersfield. It's a clinic now, and they had records there. My mom's like, "Well, what are you gonna buy?" I said, "I'm gonna buy records, Mom." So I bought a 245s. One was, I believe, Supreme's Stone Love. And
nice.
I think the other one was Smokey Robinson, Tears of a Clown.
Nice.
And then I bought 2 albums. And the 2 albums that I bought, one was Marvin Gaye, Live at the London Palladium.
Nice.
And then the second one was Joe Tex, I believe it was. Ain't Gonna Bump No More with No Big Fat Woman.
I don't know this one.
It was kind of like a club song, wasn't it?
Yeah,
was it?
Right? Disco. It was
kind of an upbeat kind of. They didn't play it on the radio that much, right?
Not in Bakersfield.
Not in
Not in Bakersfield.
Because this is late 70s, early 80s. What year is this?
Yeah, this was if I was in 5th grade, so I was like 10, so that's like 72, 73.
Wow.
Okay.
And then from there,
Sages was it a record store or like a department store?
Department store.
It was a department store. Mike, I don't know if you remember Gemco.
Yeah, that's what I was
thinking.
The
record section.
Yeah, you can get your corduroys and your records there.
Yeah, exactly.
But Frankie, you had good taste in music, man. How did you get such good taste in music?
my mom always played records.
Oh.
So she'd play records. My mom, she was an athlete, semi-professional. She played rugby and she drank beer.
Oh, wow.
What?
And
Sounds like a tough lady.
And
Wow.
she liked to play records and sing with the records because she had a pretty good voice also.
She had a nice voice. Oh, that's nice.
Mm-hmm.
And if you didn't like it, she'd kick your butt.
I know.
It
I was
sounds like.
thinking that, dude. That was a tough lady.
So,
and this is in Bakersfield too. So I'm thinking in the 70s, you're thinking like, I mean, even when I moved here in 2005, everybody's like, you going to that one horse town? It's not very big. I mean, but it was small, but you had outlets for good music.
Yeah.
The department store.
The department store. Bakersfield was always kind of known for like little dive bars and stuff like that played music, and little bands would come in and all that stuff. But
yeah, but it was kind of like a bluegrass country town, it seems to me.
Oh, yeah.
And most people I've met from Bakersfield have all listened to really good music. Like, I mean, Marvin Gaye, it doesn't get much better. And then buying the live album's brilliant because you're going to get all the hits. So, like, you don't have that much money. You're a little kid. You want a good record. Brilliant choice, you know?
And we got to say to the young people watching, a paper route. There used to be a newspaper where you'd ride your bike and you'd throw the paper out. And then you'd have to go around and collect the money, too. And there were certain houses that wouldn't answer the door. That's what I remember. Yeah. I'm 10. Can you pay me my $4 for the month? I see you in there.
All right. So now how do we get?
It's hard work.
So you're buying now. You're I'm assuming your record collection is now growing, correct, Frankie? As you're riding that Huffy up and down the street with the Bakersfield Chronicle.
Yeah, finished high school. I didn't graduate, but I finished. I didn't even finish. But anyways, I went from that to just working in the profession that I'm still doing right now, was building roads and stuff like that. And kept buying records and DJing. It just kind of was around in Bakersfield. I was young, so I wasn't going to the bars or anything like that. And I mean, I had a baby face. I couldn't get in with a fake ID if I wanted to.
Yeah, you still have a baby face.
And anyways, for my 19th birthday, we had like a 9 kegger out in the country.
Whoa, man! What year is this?
This is 81, I believe.
Wait a sec. Okay, so 1981, the drinking age was 19.
No, it wasn't 19, but all I had was
kidding,
a cup.
But 9 kegs. Bakersfield got down back in the day. 9 kegs for your 19th birthday.
At that party, we hired. It was me and my cousin Bobby. We had a backyard party, and we hired DJ Jerome. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace. Yeah.
And I had heard him a few times up to that point and stuff, and his sound system was immaculate. His presentation was good. His emceeing was good, and the powder on his face was. I think Noe
G brought that up. He would wear makeup and heels. That was the dude.
Oh yeah, yep.
Yeah, he was out there for the time, for the 80s.
Yeah. I wonder if that was like a gimmick or something. Was it a gimmick or was it?
No,
was it legit?
It was just his presentation to deliver the music.
But when he was a normal
birthday,
cat, But when he was a normal cat, like just walking the streets, did he still have makeup and high heels on?
When he was walking the streets, I don't think he had the makeup and the high heels on anymore.
I was going to say, when he's walking the streets, it wasn't about DJing. Yeah. It was about something. I'm just kidding.
So I think it's a persona, right? I know. I saw where you were going there.
He could play music. He could play music really well. And at that party, I already had a crate of records. And most of the records that I got, they only played them in LA. They didn't play them in Bakersfield.
Huh. Okay.
So
okay.
When I would make a request, didn't have it, hadn't heard that song. But he had all the hits. He had all the hits. And so I had a cousin who was at the party, my cousin Ricky, who was also my compadre. He said, well, he goes, you got all those records. He said, why don't you be a DJ? I said, okay, sounds good to me. So I took a trip to Radio Shack
Now hold on real
Nice.
quick. Everybody's first setup, huh? Everybody's first setup.
Radio Shack is the
Well,
yeah.
What were the
For me,
I
turntables,
bought a
Adley?
mixer. Yeah, I
the
bought a mixer.
realistics.
Realistic,
Yeah.
and I
And
borrowed
the
my
new
mom-
mark? And the new
And I-
mark?
And I used
It
I
was-
took my mom's turntable.
Oh.
I took my mom's
That's
turntable.
pretty common too. My parents'
Yeah, it does
turntable.
seem
Yeah,
like it,
that is common. That
it does
is.
seem like it.
And the next Saturday, I was DJing for $50.
Wait, what was the mixer, Frankie?
It was realistic.
It was
was
Radio
realistic?
Shack realistic too. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
It
Okay.
didn't have a
Man.
it didn't have a. It was just 4-channel, no crossfader on it.
So it was all up and down.
Yeah.
It was
All
all.
up
There
and
was
down.
none of this.
It was just a 4-track is what it was. I
Yeah.
guess they didn't really have mixers back then.
No,
Yeah,
they didn't
yeah,
have
it was a
much.
new thing because it probably came out of like bands. You got your drum kit here. You got your
Yeah,
guitar
yeah.
here. Wait, you want to plug in two turntables? That's weird.
Yeah,
But
what year is
that's-
this, Frankie? 1981, you said?
81, I believe. Yes.
Dude,
Yeah,
hold on.
yeah.
When did what year did Rockbox come out? Run DMC, their first album? Was that Rockbox?
That was early '80s for sure.
That was early 80s.
Was
So
it-
Yeah,
Was it 80? I feel like it was 84 though, right?
yeah. At that time, when that's when
Maybe
hip hop
earlier.
was blowing up, I was still pretty much into the dance music craze from like Hollywood, circus disco and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Funky
okay.
Garden. I
What
was
about-
playing
what
all that
about-
music.
What about freestyle, Frankie? Were you into freestyle?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when I in West Covina, like you were you were into both. You were into hip hop and freestyle. That was it. But we called it disco. We didn't call it freestyle.
No, it was disco. Yeah.
Yeah, we
I'm
called
still-
It came from disco,
Cult
huh?
Jam,
Yeah, yeah.
like those guys. But we called it disco. We didn't. The first time I heard freestyle was from Adley, and that was like a couple months ago.
I
And
didn't
I'm
know it
like,
was called
"Alright."
freestyle either because I grew up in Orange County and I remember listening to Power 106 in the early days before hip hop, and it was all dance, it was all high energy, it was freestyle basically, but we never called it freestyle. But it was more early 80s ish.
Yeah, I'm still to this day, I'm still referred to as a disco king.
Disco
As in-
King. Okay.
As in
Hey,
but freestyle, right? That's the disco
But
they're talking about.
It was a mix. I was into a lot of music like Secret Weapon, Mandolay, different things like that. Jelly Bean, Benitez.
Okay,
listening to
okay.
I feel like all those are freestyle artists. that you're-
Freestyle,
that you're
yeah.
mentioning.
in that vein. Hey, guys, let me know when it's a good time to drop some shout outs only because
Oh yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
it
I'm
just-
sorry.
it covers your
Frankie,
face,
you're
Frankie,
probably
sorry.
stacking up. Yeah, you're really popular. Sorry.
yeah, but that is Raiderette Ocampo says, "What's up?"
And you know, I don't have my
What's happening?
I don't have my my comments open, Adley. So usually I remind you. I apologize.
Yeah, no worries. I feel sorry, Frankie. It covers your face a little bit, but Henry Perez watching from San Jose, Cuvo Primo. What's up?
Yeah, my primo.
Yeah, Danny P
Hey,
checking
Danny
in
P,
too.
what's
What's up,
going on,
Danny P? And
Yeah.
Debbie Montoya says, Frankie, I'm your #1 fan. Love your DJ music always. Primo, you was a youngin. Turn those tables with Primo Ricky. Okay, Ricky Montoya party days.
Mhm.
Oh
He was
yeah,
the- He was the one that suggested that I be a DJ.
Oh, okay,
Rick the
okay,
Rebel.
very cool. Rick the
Mhm.
Rebel saying
Checking
what's
in.
up. No EG
Rick
saying
wants to be Rick's trying to get on the show.
we
dude.
gotta get Rick the Rebel on too.
Put him on with
Jess
Mickey and-
Mixaholic, we had him on a few weeks
Yeah.
back.
Yes,
Yeah, dope guest. Yeah, a lot of fun. Audrey checking in too. Orale, DJ Party Boy.
Jess, we chopped up your
Los Chiquitos.
Ron Jeremy story, and it got 4,000 views.
Yeah, Jess, you got to get him back there too.
Yeah, go
Cuba
on
from
YouTube.
Shafas.
Go on YouTube. We've got the chopped up midday.
Yeah, so keep
Bakersfield
dropping the
legend.
comments, dropping the shout outs in, guys. We'll do another round here.
We
in a
don't
minute, but-
we don't mean to get past like your comments, you guys. It's that Frankie is a very interesting person, so we're real wrapped up in the story. So we're not being. We apologize if we sound like we're being disrespectful. We do not mean to be by any stretch of the imagination, because we do love you as viewers.
Yeah.
And we also love all the DJs who come on. Adley and I love OGs. Do you agree with me, Adley?
Yeah, and we'd love it if you'd subscribe and like too.
Yeah, that's true. All you
Just saying,
subscribe
yeah.
and like, and
But we do
rewind to the beginning of the
appreciate it,
video.
for
Watch that
sure.
new midday video. But
Definitely,
But yeah, like-
definitely.
when we had Sparkle on, man, like
Rest
that
in
dude.
peace, yeah.
Oh my gosh, that dude was just busting my balls the whole time, Frankie. The whole time, bro. Like just going to work. I was like, you can't do that. He's like, yes, I can. And boom, boom, boom. Yeah, but he was an OG. You know what I mean? Like I love talking to OGs because you guys had to work so hard, man. Like I'm telling you, I cannot imagine there was an actual mixer. Because when he's telling us he's using a 4-track, it's like
4-track. That was it.
Just a 4-channel mixer with no fader, no
well,
crossfade.
yeah, and that's why that's why I asked what year that record came out, because I felt like Jam Master Jay used a Newmark. So I'm like, okay, I feel like they kind of were available to people by 84-ish would be my guess.
Yeah, if you had a Newmark, you were balling.
Yeah,
I felt like I got a
some baller
Newmark.
stuff, yeah.
Yeah, I got a Newmark, but it was 86, 87, I think was around there. And it didn't have the needle and the VU
It had the
meters.
green lights.
It actually had the lights. Yeah, you're like, whoa. Yeah. Yeah, that was fun. That was good times. But
it's just a 2-channel. It had it was like a bronze 2-channel with the lights on top with the fader in the middle, correct?
It actually had a fader. Yeah, it had a fader. Yeah.
Dude,
yeah,
I swear to you, me and another DJ on this show, we're talking about that exact mixer, and you were like, I've never seen one of those. And I was like, I swear you had one. You're like, nope, I don't remember
a Newmark.
Yeah, Newmark.
I had a Newmark, and it actually had a built-in 4-second sampler, and I could do 4-second samples.
I don't remember that part.
I don't even know where that. Yeah,
hey, come on, Frankie's the one we're interviewing. Why am I interviewing you? Come on.
Well, we talked about that. We're sidetracked.
All right, here we go. So yeah, no mixers.
Story rolling on the whole thing.
Yeah.
A buddy of mine that I went to school with, he got in the picture with me, and I had a partner, and he was real like good with the electricity, wiring, and all this stuff. I mean, he knew all the stuff that I didn't know and everything.
He could solder.
And there was an established DJ here in Bakersfield. His name was Frankie Perez, and his DJ name was the Chicano Wolfman. And we would go to.
We've heard about him on the show before.
Yeah,
they've talked about him on the show before.
That Teresa Raider that just shouted out right now. That's her uncle.
Oh,
okay.
Frank would let me and Moses. Moses was my partner, and we'd go and sit down and watch him DJ, and through all those things. Back then, the DJs they played the song, they finished the song, watched everybody come off the floor, put another song on, and so and so and so. And I remember telling him one day, I says, "Do you ever think about maybe putting the records together to keep them on the dance floor?" He says, "No, I've never thought of that." I said,
one record at a time.
One record at a time. Imagine that.
What's going on around here?
And, I'm still friends with him to this day.
Audrey says Moe's Rock.
Yeah, Moe's Rock.
How do you keep a party cracking when you're taking a platter off, putting it back in the sleeve?
He had 2 turntables, but he just didn't.
What?
I guess he didn't get the concept of blending at the time.
Okay, so he'd kind of let the song play out, then bring the new one in.
Yeah, I remember being at parties when I was learning how to blend. Nobody was teaching me at the time. I just was trying to do something that I thought would work, and people would stop dancing when I would blend a song, and then they'd
be like, "What? We didn't have a chance to clap for the last song. What's going on?"
And then the song hit. When the song would hit, they would keep dancing, and then they just keep dancing.
Dude, that's very innovative for that time, because I remember I'm not a dude with rhythm, you know what I'm saying? But learning to beat mix for me was difficult. But once I learned how to beat mix, man, I could 2-step with the best. You know what I'm saying? I could keep the beat.
I didn't know you didn't have rhythm.
It took a while, man. It took a while. Dude, and here's the other side, Frankie. You remember, like, the new wave was big in the 80s too. I don't know if you've ever talked to Mickey Rock. Shout out to him.
Did you like that music, Frankie?
Oh yeah. I was playing I was doing parties. I still had all the dance music, the R&B and all that stuff, and I was mashing it up with new wave.
You're mashing it up with the
like some OMD, Depeche Mode.
I was trying to think of bands. I couldn't remember any of the bands.
And I do a lot of backyard parties, East Bakersfield, and there's a lot of cholos and stuff like that. And
well, you're playing Oingo Boingo for cholos, dude. What's going on around here?
They love that stuff. Shout out to the cholos on the east side, man.
They would ask me,
the cholos like the Oingo Boingo.
They would ask me. They said, "Hey, homie, what kind of music's that?" I go, "That's new wave." And I would have buddies of mine that were in car clubs and stuff like that, and they'd follow me to the parties, and they crashed all the parties, and then they'd be out there dancing, And the cholitos would ask me, well, how do you dance to that music? I said, just like they are. They'd be doing that madness thing up and down.
Yeah, they're like, I ain't doing that. I ain't gonna skank.
All these cholos doing that.
There was
Oh,
you got
that's
the
crazy.
cholo
That's dope.
skanking like that?
Yeah. I got
Oh my goodness.
Mike, I gotta and Frankie, I gotta bring this up too, because I grew up in Orange County. They called it the kind of the, I don't want to say rich, but okay, well off, okay,
We all
middle
know what Orange
class-ish.
County is,
but-
Adlai, that didn't grow up there. Please
Yeah.
continue speaking, sir.
But I'm jealous because I hear about the East Side in the 80s and 90s and how fun it was. Talking from when you were DJing, even to like the young dudes like Nocturnal. You know what I'm saying? And it was like, man. So for Orange County, I lived in Fountain Valley. We'd go to Santa Ana, which was like that. And they'd be like, what are these dudes doing here? But I loved it because it was backyard parties. It was where if they didn't have kegs, well, they would charge you for cups. And I was like, that's a new thing. Or they'd even have like the gates on the window. And it was like, all right, $1 a beer. And you'd have to buy the beer through the window. And I was like 16 at the time. But it was the best music, It was the freestyle. It was the high energy. And Frankie, did they have that thing where they'd make flyers for parties?
Oh, yeah.
And shout out all the crews and stuff. I remember all that too.
Yeah,
So
Noe was my flyer guy.
really? He designed them or passed them out?
He just designed them.
Really?
Wow.
Okay.
And that was before computers.
Were they nice?
It was all. Oh yeah. I have one on my page still.
Oh wow.
Oh,
And if
see,
you
I
look
wish I
at
saved
it-
those.
You look at it, it's for an after hours party, and it says start time 1:30 a.m.
End time.
See, Bakersfield got down
Question
back in the
mark.
day, man. Back in
End
the
time.
day,
Question
man.
mark. You ever put them on your flyers?
You gotta
Yeah,
go
look at-
question mark.
Yeah. End
Starts
time.
at 10.
Yeah,
ends at
Question mark.
question mark.
And you always look at your flower afterwards at that question mark like you're a genius. Like, look at that, bro. Question mark. You know what that means? Because the cops are showing up, dummy, at 2.
Yeah.
Because the neighbors are mad. Knock it off.
No,
But you did.
He did a lot of art for me.
That's very cool. I didn't know that. So Frankie, so you're doing house parties, and you
Yes.
talked about your 19th birthday. Was it at a house party, or did you ever do? I hear about these like parties in the orchards or in the fields and stuff too. Was that a thing?
Yes, but pretty much in they had like corrals. Some of the houses out in the country, and so there was like you had a parking lot and a party place too.
Like in a barn kind of type thing, like on a ranch.
We did one where it was I think we're up to like my 22nd, maybe 23rd birthday, and we're off of Cottonwood in the country, and people were climbing in the windows just to get in the party.
This sounds so dangerous to me.
It
This
was.
doesn't sound dangerous to you, Adlai?
Dude, that's what people would tell me when I moved to Bakersfield. They're like, what's wild up there, man? And I'm all like, yeah, dude, whatever. It'll be cool, dude. And it's wild. I can tell you that. In my younger, crazier days,
I wouldn't.
we'd go to some parties and be like, whoa. And when I say young, I'm saying in my early 30s, even at that point. And then I was like, you know what? Time for me to chill.
I'm not going to no party in the middle of nowhere, no time ever, bro. I'm allergic to the country, dude. I can't get out there like that. Because then that's when you end up missing or something, bro. I don't like that type of stuff.
Yeah, but the trade-off was you're gonna have a good time, DJ Party Boy in the mix. You know what I'm
but if
saying?
I was a young person that grew up that way, that'd just be normal to me. Because I'm sure people from Bakersfield are like, I'm not going to a party in the hood. It's like, well, it's the only party I'm invited to. So if you want to go to the party, that's where I'm going.
I'm
You know what I
17. I can drink there because they'll sell me a beer.
Yeah,
And the music's really good.
the music was dope.
Yeah, it might be a shooting, but the cops aren't showing up.
The cops are showing up.
But they eventually do. But till late.
I never had a shooting at one of my gigs.
Good.
Pretty positive.
Yeah, that's good. That's good
That's
to hear.
dope.
Did you ever do anything scandalous like throw a party in an abandoned house?
Yes, that was the corral one.
Oh,
was the
really?
Yeah. I'm
The
still
corral. It's
yeah.
like a ranch, right? It's like at
Yeah,
a ranch.
that's a ranch.
How far from like central downtown Bakersfield was this place?
I would say maybe 8-10 miles at the most.
Also not too far away, so you could get there pretty quick. And just
Yes,
like
Did
back
somebody
in the
live
day, it was
there?
all phones, right?
Yeah,
You'd call
yeah, well,
people.
It was empty. One of my buddies, it was his uncle's house, but it had
Okay.
running water and electricity. So we were
Okay.
doing parties.
All right,
And
that's not that bad. That's not that bad.
Did he
So-
know you were having a party?
I don't know. I'm
Come on.
still friends with that guy too, with Donnie.
Do you think anybody's parents knew that any of those parties we ever went to or
Oh,
ever DJ'd at knew that was what was supposed to be going on? I would assume
Nope.
not. Correct.
I think
Yeah, so like I can't fault you for that. We had a DJ on here. I won't say his name, Frankie, but Adlai already did. And during the 2007 crash, when all those houses were getting foreclosed on,
Mhm.
they would just break into the foreclosed house and throw parties.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was crazy. It's been crazy the whole time and everything too. So, all right, Frankie. So you're in your 20s.
I'm in
You're
my 20s,
DJing.
and
You're doing other stuff too. You're doing house parties. Right? Like when
a
did
lot
the
of house
club stuff
parties,
start coming in?
weddings, A lot of
Wait,
weddings.
I want to
car
hear
shows.
about that too, Adlai, but you're not mesmerized by this corral idea?
I think it's a great idea.
I mean, what's
think
going on here? It's a
genius.
corral. I don't even know what that means, dude. What
gotta
is a
pay parking lot.
corral?
And it's where they put the horses, but there's no horses, so we just park. It's a parking lot.
Yeah, but like rival gangs didn't show up, nothing like that.
You know what? We knew the neighborhoods and all that here in Bakersfield, but we didn't bang, so we went in and out all the
It
time.
was the party
I
scene.
got you.
more
Yeah,
than
you were like,
anything, too.
nah, this ain't that kind of party. This is a fun kind of party. We don't need none of that business at this party.
Yeah,
I'm just
neighborhood I
reading the
grew up
co-
in was separate from where Noe lived at, but we were
Okay.
always friends. We were always friends, and I got chased out of my neighborhood more than I did than anybody else's neighborhood. For some reason, I don't know why, but I learned how to run faster.
All right.
Yeah,
Adlai,
Audrey said the party was a blast, but her high heel pumps would get stuck in the grass.
in the
Yes.
grass. All right, Adlai, you want to get him to his further career? I apologize. I didn't mean to
Oh
interrupt
no,
that great
dude,
question.
this is fun, man. This is great. I love hearing about. It's
know.
weird. We chronologically talk about the party scene
Yeah.
in these towns and stuff, and Bakersfield's just, even though it's different than what we came up with, it's similar too. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, but I love
Kids are
hearing
gonna
about it,
find a
don't you?
spot.
Yeah,
party.
It's fun. It's I
picked
love
up
hearing about it.
I picked up another partner who wanted to help me out, and he was pretty sharp with building things and all that stuff. He built a I don't know what you call it, but that's where we put our turntables. It wasn't a rack, and then he built a rack out of a gutted out washing machine.
Wait, did he
Huh.
he built you a coffin for your
Uh,
turntables?
Yeah, well, it was kind of like a coffin, yes, kind of like one, but it was all homemade. And his name was Moses Aguirre. And
Okay, someone mentioned that. I think.
yeah, Moses, and he was called the Mix. That was his, because we ended up splitting up, and then he was DJing called the Mix, and both of us were involved in Bedel's when it first started Bedel's.
Oh,
And
right.
everybody DJ'd at that place.
Yeah,
Yes,
And that's
everybody
where,
good. If you were good, you came
Yeah,
through
sure,
there,
everybody-
right? Because
Well, everybody on the Chino Brothers has been good. We don't interview bum DJs. That's how come everybody
Yeah.
played there.
yeah, so I did Bedel's for quite a bit, and then I got in some trouble.
oh,
And Nick had already he had asked me that because Nick was married to my little sister, and
Oh,
so he's my brother-in-law. And
Baker Boys, Nick.
so he tells me, he says, hey, he goes we're moving from another distant destination, and Expose was gonna come.
oh wow.
Ooh,
And so he asked me, he says, hey, he goes, can I put your name on the flyer? I said, yeah, sure, put my name on the flyer. Well, before the concert happened, I went to jail.
Oh,
So I didn't get to see Expose because Dale wasn't going to let me go see Expose.
What?
that sucks.
Yeah,
Wait, can we ask what you got in trouble for? Or?
I think it was a DUI, probably something like
Oh,
Okay.
that. I didn't kill nobody or rob a
What a
bank.
waste.
Good.
What a
Yeah.
waste. You should have
Yeah.
robbed a bank if you're gonna miss Expose.
I'm sitting over there in jail thinking, man, I could be over there kicking it with Expose, and what we hear.
Oh man,
That's horrible.
That's rough, dude. That's rough, man. Sorry to hear that too, man.
Well,
You know what, Adlai? The cops said they were taking me to a point of no return. You get it? You get it?
I think that's what it was.
get it?
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. So, anyways, and then we just kept going, and things just kind of started going in a different direction with me, with the music and all that stuff, and I actually stopped DJing for a while, stopped DJing. The partying was kind of getting the best of me and all that stuff. And
Oh, you were getting sucked into it. You weren't
It's a
DJing for the love of
wild
the game. You were
lifestyle.
DJing for the lifestyle.
so
Ah.
I ended up in 90, 91, 92, maybe 91, 92. I ended up putting myself in Teen Challenge.
That's how you got that DUI. I want to talk about Teen Challenge here in 1 second, but now it makes more sense to me because I'm like, why would you be drinking if you knew you had to work? And it's like, oh no, you were one of those DJs, and it happens a lot, Frank. You don't fit like, I mean, this is no, but it's one or the other, bro. Because if you try to choose both, the bad one's gonna get you, especially in DJing.
Oh yeah,
because it's all there in front of you. So did you get on drugs and stuff like that?
Yeah, because I had a substance abuse problem, and pretty much to be honest with you, I mean to be honest, I mean, and I don't mind saying it. I'm not proud of it, but I actually was homeless for a little while.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Oof.
And
that's tough, man.
I ended up a buddy of mine. He just passed away here recently, and I called him, and on a Sunday he came and picked me up.
Really?
And he says, and he had his whole family with him. They were on their way to a birthday party.
Oh man.
His name was Louis Loera, and no, he knows him. And he dropped his family off at a birthday party, and he said, "Come on, we're going to my house." And we just sat and talked, and started making phone calls to different men's homes and stuff. And
wow,
that's when you found Teen Challenge.
And he took me to Shafter Teen Challenge here in Kern County, and he didn't have a bed for me, and he says, "Will you go anywhere?" I said, "I can go anywhere." So I went down my aunt's house, Audrey, the one that was I commented.
Yeah,
it was her mom.
Yeah, Chavez. Yeah,
my dad's sister, and she put me up for 3 days until they found me a bed, and it was in LA, and I stayed for 2 years. Graduated, and I stayed for 2 years. Was going to Bible college. Thought I was going to be a pastor, and my late wife, we had 2 kids at the time, and we talked, and she said she wanted to reconcile. So biblically, I have to reconcile before becoming a pastor if I wanted to be a pastor. And I went back to work, and we got plugged into a church here in Bakersfield.
Wait, hold on, Frankie. So you were married before you became homeless?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I had 2
All right.
kids.
So I just want to pause the story for a sec because I think it's easy for DJs who are talking to DJs to kind of catch up with what each other's saying. But for those who aren't DJs, being a DJ is difficult because it's your passion. You love music, but you are constantly around criminals and alcohol. And so if you're so focused on being a DJ, you almost don't die by that peril. But if you start partaking, man, once you start tasting that fruit, man, you've seen it too, Adley. Haven't you seen so many DJs go down that way?
Dude, and there's been times, even for me, it's like, okay, I gotta pump the brakes here because this can get out of hand. Because dude, just even I mean, we were pretty disciplined. I think
we were
at our clubs,
man. We
were pretty boring. But dude, it's all people come up and say, let's do shots. You're the DJ. And it's not just shots, and it's not just alcohol. There's other stuff that you're like
drugs, all kinds.
Hey, you're
of
the
stuff.
DJ. Let's party, and you're just kind of like, yeah, because you got into it for the love of the music, for the for the mixing, cutting it up, the networking with other DJs and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
but the club scene it takes it to another level, man.
It can eat you up if you're not disciplined. Now, me and Ad were squares. We were squares because we love the music. You know what I mean? But now, also, Frankie, I don't know if you probably don't know this about me. I actually started a homeless ministry here in Pittsburgh. That's how I ended up in Pittsburgh.
Nice.
So, so when I found the Lord, I left radio. That's when I stopped DJing. And then I moved out here. I started a homeless ministry. So I know a fair bit about Teen Challenge. And for those of you watching who don't know a fair bit about Teen Challenge, I think they have a very high track record of getting people sober. I think it's like 82%.
Wow.
They're more effective at
82%.
is it 82%, Frankie?
Yeah, it's
wow.
82%.
Yeah.
They actually thought it was less, and the University of Riverside, they did a thing about them, and they told them, you know what, it's higher. It's 82%.
Wow.
Yeah, they do better homeless ministry than I've seen done. I mean, it's heartbreaking. It's a very heartbreaking ministry. And the ministers who live on campus, those dudes, man, there's a special place in heaven for those dudes. Here's the trick, Frankie. Find the guy that lives there and then go visit him, right? Get to know him, get to be his friend. This is what I do. Every time I meet a real good Christian, I do this. And then I ask him, hey, man, look, we're going to be there for a long time. So you mind if I hang out at your crib for like 10,000 years or what, bro? You good with that or what? Every time I meet a good one. So when you see that pastor, you ask him, because I bet you he's going to have a dope crib once we get to heaven. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah.
So yeah, Teen Challenge, and I'm getting ready to graduate. I graduated Teen Challenge, and then I was going to TCMI, which is you're the next step to become a pastor. And my
which denomination, wife, Frankie?
Just no, it wasn't. It was just
non-denominational.
Non-denominational.
Okay.
Yeah.
And anyways, me and my wife and I, we had started talking again, and she told me one day, she just out of the blue, she says, she goes, something happened to you. She goes, and I know that a lot of people are going to get mad at me, but I think we could try it again. And so I went and talked to the Henry Perez. He was the leader there, and he said, well, he goes, if she wants you back, she goes, anything before ministry, she comes before that.
Yeah, sounds like a good man. Sounds like a good man. Good counsel.
Yeah, Henry Perez, and his last name was Perez. And,
yeah.
Great last name.
And he said, he goes, you go home, do you have a job? I says, if I went home today, I have a job.
Yeah.
He goes, then you got to go.
Yeah.
And so we did, and we got plugged in here at Valley Bible here in Bakersfield, and we got. I got pretty involved. I was doing a lot of things there, ushering, new believers, all this stuff, and then the pastor was saying, he wanted to start small groups, and I started one, with one other guy.
Pretty small group.
Yeah, it was a real small group. It was me and Jesse Hernandez. He's passed away too. Rest in peace. And before I know it, I've got like 65 guys. Maybe 3 of them are white guys. The rest of them are Mexican, bald-headed.
Oh wow!
Yeah. Jeez.
They called us the Gangster Bible Study.
This is at VBF.
Yes, at VBF.
Okay. VBF's a big church here, Mike. That's
hold on real quick. Huge. I like how Frankie doesn't call them cholos. He says the rest of them were Mexican, bald-headed. He didn't say they were cholos.
That's where I met Rocky.
Oh, that's where you met Clever.
Okay.
Okay. Love that dude, man.
Yes.
He's
Shout
not
a
cholo. He's just a bald head, though, but he ain't no cholo.
And he brought his dad and he brought his brother.
Oh, wow. Cool.
And we ended
Very
up with
cool.
5 guys, and we were hitting the streets. We were doing outreaches, free, do hot dogs and hamburgers in a neighborhood. Just
yeah.
Stuff. And
that's that good stuff.
I had got into at Teen Challenge Christian hip hop. So
who are some artists that you liked?
And Priesthood, K2S, just there's a bunch of them. Pigeon John.
Pigeon John was pretty dope. And then there's these new guys. I can't remember these new guys. Something. Awkward Party, something or other. I got to look them up again, but they were really dope. I heard them the other day, and they sounded like a lot of that like underground '90s hip hop.
Right.
Who was that other guy? John Rubin. Did you ever get to John Rubin, Frankie?
Yeah.
He had really good tracks.
Yeah.
Toby Mac has some decent tracks, man, and I really feel bad for that poor man and everything he's been through with his son.
Yeah.
But there's some good tracks out there. I didn't even think about it until Frankie was talking right now.
And there's a lot of good R&B out there too, also.
Really?
Yeah, there's a lot of good R&B. Mary Mary.
We used to play them on the record.
Remember them? Yeah, even at the stations.
We used to play them on the radio station.
And I started doing that at Valley. And for some reason, my wife and I, we found us being chaperones in the singles ministry. I guess that's what you call it. And Pastor Hector, he was the one that leads it, and I'd always just carry a crate of CDs, get it to the barbecues, and I start playing them, and they're asking me, "Where do you get this music at?" They don't play this on Christian radio. So
Right.
I dig for it. They go, what do you mean you dig for it? I says, you dig for it. That's how you find it.
Yeah, they're not DJs. They don't know them. They don't know that. They don't know that
struggle.
language. Yeah.
They would ask me, they go, well, do you listen to it? I says, yeah. Well, how much do you listen to? I go, probably about, I don't know, 30, 40 seconds. And they think, and you know? I said, yeah, you know. I know.
Yeah, that's good.
That's crazy. It's
that's
a jam,
awesome.
but then afterwards,
and then
you want to listen to it.
Yeah. Then before you know it, people are getting engaged, going to have a wedding. They need a DJ.
Yeah.
So I bought me a little, I still have it in my garage. I have a little Newmark mixer where you put a CD on one side and one on the other side.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, the built-in, everything built in. Yeah, okay.
That probably set you back at the time because you're just coming up. You're like,
well, Nick V, he bought my speakers.
Okay.
Yeah, Nick V, he bought the speakers. Him and my sister.
Oh wow, that's really cool.
Yep, and I started like that, and I kept doing it just with the CDs and stuff. I could manipulate the little controller that I had. So
that was a pretty decent setup. Yeah, that little Newmark imaging.
And then then people went, well, can you play a little bit of old school? Can you play some cumbias? Sure, I can. I can do all that stuff, and then after that, it just started blowing up, and I was still using that little controller. It was a Newmark. Like I said, I still have it in the garage. And,
nice.
And I went to a show here in town where Nick B was DJing, and he introduced me to Serato.
Oh, yeah.
And he
game changer.
Serato, and I'm looking at it. I mean, I'm looking at the turntables. I'm looking at the mixer. I'm listening to the beat matching and cutting and the scratching and all this stuff.
It's all real. It's all real.
And then on Labor Day, they were having a sale at Guitar Center, and I went and I bought everything. I bought 2 turntables. I bought me a mixer. I bought some speakers. I bought some cords. I got some stands. Get to the house. I plug it all in, ready to go. I didn't buy any needles.
Oh.
The needles.
Yeah,
oh
but you
boy!
turned around and got needles.
Headed right back though.
Yeah,
right?
immediately. You were flying. Cops pull you. Where you going? Get needles, fool! Get out of my way.
Yeah,
Serato. Oh man, yeah, definitely game changer.
I made new cards. I called it a Tuesday night music because that's when our Bible study was, our men's Bible study.
Oh, and you were just making mixes?
And well, I was just I wanted to start passing out cards so I could start DJing again. And my late wife, she bought me a box of cards for my birthday. And they said, she told me, she goes, they don't know who Tuesday Night Music is, Frank. And she gave me the cards, and it said Party Boys Productions.
Okay.
My original name.
Yeah, they brought it back. You brought it back. So that's, oh man, that's so cool, dude. That's and this all happened. This is still going on 90s, and then what early 2000s is when you got the turntables and everything.
Yep.
That is the best story I've ever heard of Hustle, isn't it?
Oh my gosh,
that is a grinder's story.
I remember
that is the grindiest story I've ever heard of my life, dude.
I remember the first wedding I did, and the pastor that was over the singles ministry, Hector Rizzo. Me and him, we shared the same birthday, and a great guy. I mean, a really solid dude. And and then we did a wedding. He did the service, and he would always ask me. He goes, play some Ohio players for my wife. I said, okay. I'm gonna play Sweet Sticky Thing. No, not that one, bro. Don't play that.
Too much. That's too much.
I thought you were gonna tell us, Frankie, that the singles pastor came up to you and said, "Hey, bro, you gotta stop playing them records so nice, or you're gonna put me out of a job, man.
Yeah.
All these singles gonna hook up
What I did
play them records."
Yeah, what I did tell him, I told him, I says, you know what, Hector? He said, what? I go, now I know why you teach it's a sin to dance. He goes, why? I go, because I seen you dance.
Ricky, you keep saying these type of things that sound very Baptist. That's how come I was like, were you going to be ordained as a Baptist minister?
Yeah.
So, yeah, like
I
that.
like messing with them.
All those sound like very Baptist things.
One of these days.
Bernard
Yeah.
get ordained.
Bernard is always telling me that I need to go do an open mic thing.
Open mic.
Comedy.
Oh, really? Okay. We've
We
had
know
a few
couple
comedians
comics. Yeah, we know a couple comics.
Excuse
If
me.
you want us to introduce you, man, they like us too, so we can introduce you to them.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be great. Oh, yeah, that'd be awesome too. But I feel like I just kind of want to go a little bit back to the early days in Bakersfield, because one thing, Mike, I know we've talked about before was Chester downtown was a scene in and of itself.
Yes.
And there was also kind of a, I don't want to say bootleg radio station, but it kind of was. And I don't know if you're familiar with it or
there's been a lot of
not.
controversy on this. I want to know what's going on with this. We've had several guests give us conflicting stories one way or another, and I want to see who has the answer. But I'm not getting involved in controversy. What do you say, Adlai?
Okay.
No controversy, no drama. But do you remember Chester being I mean, it was the spot to cruise. It was the hangout. It was where you went to either show off your ride. Not only that it looked cool and 100 spokes and all that, but just the bumping systems too.
Mm-hmm.
But there was a
spokes, man.
There was a
You're
station.
balling.
Yeah. Do you remember that?
We heard about this pirate radio station.
I'm trying to remember it.
You do remember or you don't remember?
I'm trying to remember it, but I know that there was a pirate radio station.
Then
You
you're
do
not going to
remember
be able
hearing
to
about
answer
it.
the question.
Or does he not want to answer it?
Are
That's what
you
I'm wondering.
trying to stay out of the controversy,
out.
Frankie? Is
No,
that what you're doing?
no.
Okay.
I don't know the whole controversy thing.
Well, it's some people say this happened at the station, other people say this happened at the station. Me and Adlai weren't anywhere around or near it, nor do we have any stake in the claim of it. But we'll bring up what one guy says, and then the other guy, the next DJ will come on. That's not what happened. Let me tell you what really happened. So we're like, all right, man. Well, I'm not saying that's what happened. I'm saying that's what the other guy said happened. We interview people on this show, so we were hoping you would give us a little bit of that answer. And being a Christian, man, I knew you were going to tell the truth, but unfortunately, he doesn't remember that.
No, I don't remember the whole thing. I only did a radio through the Groove 99.3, and I did it for a while, and then I was having little things here at home and stuff like that too, where I had to stop and work on my wife.
Why don't we do this real quick? Let's take a 2-second break, which will probably be way longer than 2 seconds. We have missed so many shout outs, Ed.
I know.
Why don't we just roll through some quick shout outs real quick? Frankie's a very popular man, and we don't want him to not get his flowers. So
yeah, if I missed one, I'm sorry, guys, but this might be one of your favorites. Sheila, my honey, my 24-ounce darling. 24 ounce. You might have to explain that if you want. You don't have to, though. I don't.
My wife.
Oh, okay. And I'm trying to see.
That's what she calls me. The 24-ounce.
I'm trying to check it with people that we haven't checked in with. Gavin checking in. What's up, guys?
Nice.
What's up, Gavin? And Catherine on our YouTube channel. Hello. I think that's shout out from Lipa Batangas. I don't know where that is. Anybody?
I think that's in Thailand.
Is it?
Yeah, I think that's in Thailand.
Okay.
We have a fair amount of like Asian followers and African followers.
Nice.
Because I can buy views cheap over there. And then they start following us.
And DJ Nocturnal, we were talking about him a little bit earlier. Shout out to the party boy. He's over at the Energy 95.3. Yeah, nice. And yeah, if I miss you guys, I'm sorry, but I'm trying to get everybody. Noe G. What's up? Yeah, there's Noe G. Right there. Angela Gonzalez. Love you, Frankie. And again, if I miss it. And then, baby George, guess who's here?
Okay.
Baby, we've been trying to get him on too, but he's shy.
Tell baby George to come on here, Frankie.
Yep. I think he should go on it.
Yeah. And I don't know, we did shout out Debbie, but she says the life of a DJ, Frankie's a legend.
My cousin.
Truth. Nice. And Martin Perez, Fishberg.
That was my first partner right there.
Martin. That's the Martin.
That was that first partner. Before yeah.
Okay. And Noe G says there was a radio station on top of Murphy's.
Might have been.
Might
have been. That might have been when I was on vacation or something.
Okay. I'm fishing. I'm trying to get Frankie to cough up the
Give
goods.
it up, huh?
I know that there was one like that, the Chester Avenue thing, and I think there was a couple of them like that, but I really didn't.
It wasn't. Yeah. And one thing I wanted to go back to too is you talk about when you had your Creator Records, kind of when you're helping out the DJs with new music and stuff. You talked about they play this in LA. Did you go down to the club scene in LA too?
Yeah.
Back in the day,
we used to go to Circus Disco.
Okay.
And, with my cousin Ricky, who's rest in peace, and we'd go down there and just to hear music and dance and just hang out, just hear the different music that you don't hear in Bakersfield. And it was cool because if we stay the night or something like that, we'd go to a record store and buy records, and then we come back and play them. And then the DJs that are at the party that you're DJing at, they're asking, "Wait, what
is that?" Yeah.
And
Okay.
back then, I wouldn't tell them.
Dude, all of you
you'd have to cover the
Bakersfield
label.
guys, all of them were exactly like that. All of them said that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Did you put stickers over the label or whatever, or just straight
Yeah.
Sharpie them out so nobody could see who it was and stuff? Like, oh, we thought, yeah, it was scandalous in the DJ world back then with covering up the labels. Or you had a white label that was like not technically
like a legit
released
white
yet.
label?
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot to mention that when I started blowing up and everything, purple was our color. That was the Party Boys color.
Okay.
And, I had a big mirror. I don't know how, like 4 feet wide or something like that. And I gave it to Noe. It says, "Make it look good." And he put our logo on there, and a bunch of purple stripes on it. It looked like a flag, like that. And that we used to set it up in the front of the.
It was like your banner right there hanging.
Yeah, it was, but it was a glass. It was a glass. So I don't know. If you can see.
Wow. Okay.
See that? That was the logo right there.
Let me see if I can bring you up single shot here. Hold on one sec.
That right there.
Okay, Party Boys. Okay.
Hold on real quick before you take him out a single shot. Frankie, give me like a peace symbol so I can make do like that. There you go. So I can make a thumbnail out of it, Adley.
Oh, nice.
So that way, now put us back in 3.
Party
so that way
Boys
it's not
music.
just the Chino face. You know what I mean? We'll start putting the thumbnails on all our episodes.
It was actually from a bag department store here in Bakersfield, the Broadway, which is now Macy's now in Bakersfield. That's where I know we got the logo.
Oh, copyright infringement? No,
Yep.
I'm just kidding. Back then we did that stuff though. Yeah, you did that stuff. You're like, whatever.
I don't know
dude.
if you've seen the T-shirts at my shop.
Yeah.
They look like the Wu-Tang Clan, but
dude, that's too funny. That's great,
Nice.
man.
Yeah.
And then I'm just thinking too, radio wise though, what did you guys listen to in Bakersfield in the 70s, 80s? Really?
Back then it was KKXX. It was more rock than anything. I mean, if you got an R&B song on there, it was like a mistake or something. And
really,
country's always been big in
dude, that's a desert.
Yeah.
That's a music desert. I can't live in a music desert like that.
Believe it or not, weddings. If you do a country wedding, I mean, you're gonna get paid good.
You get paid,
and believe it or not, I mean, I'm a dance guy. I mean, they call me the disco king when it comes to music and all that stuff. But I can play country and I can play it well.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, yeah.
Dude, there's a couple radio stations coming up. I'm gonna throw these up real quick. KAFY, is that?
Yep, I remember
KAFY.
Yep.
Q94.1.
Mm-hmm.
KCHJ.
Yep.
Baker Boys Night. 10:10 a.m. Was that KCHJ?
I think so, yeah. Yeah, I think that's the one that Surtee, yep. Surtee.
And that was on an AM station?
On an AM station, yes.
And they were bringing the early hip hop and freestyle.
When Surtee was doing that, I think it was Adam Delano.
Wow.
Yeah. Was that the bootleg radio station that we're talking about?
So,
or was that a real radio station?
No, he was like 13 years old when he was doing that.
Sir T.
Mm-hmm.
Sir T.
Out of like
man.
a bootleg radio station, or was it a real radio station?
It was I think it was a bootleg. And that was
Just-
his thing to do.
Just oh wow, just
How many
transmitted and
bootleg
played the
radio
jams.
stations were in Bakersfield?
Apparently a few.
You either work in the fields or you do a bootleg radio station.
Man, they didn't give people very many options back then. Thank God things have changed, man.
Baby George says it's a real station. Yeah.
There was a lot of DJs that were popular before I started. Frankie Perez, he was the Chicano Wolfman. Coffee Dog.
I've heard all these names.
Coffee Dog.
Like
His real name was Bobby Goody. Real good DJ. Jerome.
Yeah.
And there's some that I just can't remember right now, but I know that those always. Coffee Dog was like the perfect MC that played
Coffee
music.
Dog. Teresa
Yeah.
says Coffee Dog. Yeah.
Yeah, he was really, really good. Jerome was. Frankie Sepulveda, he was.
We needed to have two people in our crew in order to have a good MC and a good DJ. Adley would always DJ. I would always MC.
Yeah. We rolled it as a group. Yeah.
And they'd only pay one of us. I'm like,
Yeah.
come on, man. You want us to split a talent fee? What's wrong with you guys?
Oh my gosh. What were some of the big clubs back in the day besides Vidal's?
There was Cheney's. There was one downtown. I think it was Perez or something like that. There was one called Suds back then, and it was small. I mean, it was small, but they always had bands. Most of the clubs always had bands. Every
Okay.
once in a while you'd get the DJs. The DJ started, I think, maybe in the late 90s, the 2000s, just started doing a lot anyways. Bakersfield's always been a big band town.
Yeah, okay, because people are popping up names now. The Marquee,
Mm-hmm.
John Bryan's,
John Bryan's, yes.
the Tam O'Shanter. That
Tam
only
O'Shanter.
closed what, 10 years ago?
The Tam O'Shanter. That's the name of a
Tam
club?
O'Shanter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was one that I think I had the last residency there.
Wow.
I think when I stopped, I think Redeemed might have started over there.
Oh,
in a couple
really?
Yeah.
Okay.
and it was-
Todd's. There's a place
I
called
feel
Todd's.
like Redeem was the one that was talking to us about the Mexican Wolfman and
Yeah.
Who's the other guy that you mentioned a couple seconds ago that me and Adley heard of before?
Trying to think.
I can't remember. I
man.
can't remember. Let's go back and watch it.
Was
Those
it
are some
that-
good
Yeah, I know.
episodes.
Not Sir T or
No, it wasn't Sir T. It was another one that you said. It wasn't Chalk, wasn't Sir T, wasn't
Coffee Dog.
Coffee Dog. That was it.
Coffee
yeah,
Dog?
Coffee
Did he talk
Dog.
about Coffee
yeah.
Dog?
There was another guy, Commander Whitehead. He had a bus. Yeah, he went to his gigs in a bus.
He
Commander
lived in a bus?
Yeah. No, well, that's how he got to his gigs in a bus.
That's great.
Like a
Yeah, there's a
school
bunch
bus?
of different clubs popping up now.
There was a guy from Chapter. Bernard was his first name. He was. I'm trying to think of his DJ name. Can't even think of it right
Commander?
now. No, it wasn't Commander. It was. I can't think of his name right now. But his name was Bernard. He
All
looked
right,
like a
Frankie, real quick side note. Adley and I have been having this debate recently, and everybody in the comments, you can answer this debate as well. Now, I know you're married, and I'm married as well. However, here's the question. Is it better to have made out with a girl when she was pretty, but then later on she gets ugly, your friends see her, and they're like, hey, you made out with that girl? You're like, yeah, I did. She was pretty back in the day, but now she's ugly. Or is it better to have made out with a girl when she was ugly, but then she turns pretty, right? And your homeboys see her and they're like, hey, you made out with that girl. You're like, yeah, I did, but she was ugly back then, but they didn't know that. Which is better? What do you say?
You know that I'm married, right?
I know, that's what I said. I said, I know you're married. I know I'm married. So like this, obviously before we met our wives, you know what I mean? Our wives are the most beautiful ladies in the whole world. But I'm saying when you were a single fella and there's no fornication or anything, just make it out. You just got, kissing. What's better? She was pretty, now she's ugly, or she was ugly, now she's pretty?
Ugly, now she's pretty.
What?
Yeah.
That's Adley's answer. I said pretty, now she's ugly.
It's about what's going on right now. Like,
Yeah, but I'm the one that had to kiss her, dude. If
But
she was
if she was-
ugly, what was I doing?
If
Why
she
was
was-
I
if-
making out with ugly chicks? What's wrong with me? I wasn't a handsome guy when I was young.
But they might not know that. They might be like, she's hot now, man.
You play
Like,
that one song, We Like Ugly Women.
right, well,
Martin
we always-
says, I didn't care. At the end of the night, they were pretty ugly. Clever hopping on too. DJ Clever saying there's no right answer.
There's no right answer.
There's no right answer.
I think the pretty girl. If I'm gonna have to make out with somebody, she better be pretty. I don't want to be with an ugly person. And then she turned ugly anyways. I'll be like, see, that's why we broke up. That's my answer to everybody. Right?
Yep.
That's the thing,
Oh,
man.
that's good.
And that's your answer too, Frankie, because that's how come you married your pretty wife and I married my pretty wife. All the rest of them are too ugly. We didn't want nothing to do with them. They might have been pretty when they were young, but they got ugly when they got old. So we had nothing to do with them. All right. We always wrap this up, Frankie, at the end of the night with news stories if you haven't watched our show before. But since you're the guest, you get to pick which news story we choose from. I don't know if Adlai even had news stories.
I got a couple things lined up here.
Yes, so these will be new to me as well. Adlai, what do you got for us?
All right, we're gonna go just musically speaking. Eminem's 8 Mile royalties are still paying off for Havoc, and you know Havoc from Mobb Deep, so he's still making money on that.
Oh,
That's
wow.
one. Will Smith takes trips with his ex-wife, and that's told from Jada Pinkett Smith says that. Here's random. Climate protesters glue their hands to the floor of car exhibit and get upset when Volkswagen won't bring them bowls to defecate or urinate into.
Oh, that sounds like a good one.
Random. And this is a stripper dances in a high school gym for an ex-NFL's players charity event, and superintendent is shocked and disappointed. So you want to go Eminem's 8 Mile, Will Smith takes trips, client protesters glue their hands to the floor, or the stripper that dances in a high school gym at a charity event.
I don't know. Will Smith kind of like gets in the headlines lately.
What? Yeah, you want to? Yeah. Because
Let's talk about it.
I still wonder where I'm at with him in general, but
I'm still trying to figure out what's going on with the slap, dude.
Yeah, see, I don't know where I'm at with that. So, but Will Smith's first wife, Cherie Zampino, recently joined Jada Pinkett Smith for an episode of Red Table Talk. We know that show on YouTube there. The pair reflected on how they've managed to foster a healthy relationship even after Zampino and Smith got divorced following 3 years of marriage back in the 90s. Jada Pinkett Smith revealed that Cherie still joins her husband on business trips for moral support. They take trips, and I'm not there. They do their thing, Jada said before Zampino implored her to explain the context of the trips further. Not together romantically, but if he's going on a book tour and Will's mom is going and his sister, it's fun for me to watch them enjoy each other. It takes time, though. We're not having trouble, everyone. So do you let your current husband or wife go on trips with your ex?
I don't know, dude. The whole thing's weird, dude. The whole thing is weird. Yeah, I don't understand why everybody's not saying that out loud. Why does everybody go, well, it's their thing, and this is the new progressive, whatever. Like, dude, it's weird, man. It's weird. Leave this bald-headed lady, Will Smith. Me and my son watch Men in Black 1, 2, and 3. I'm like, this dude is a good actor. He's a good action star. He's a good role model outside of this insane Jezebel, Jada Pinkett Smith. What say you, Frankie?
All I know is that my wife's beautiful. She was beautiful when I met her, and she's still beautiful.
That's right. Absolutely. That's all you talked about in the green room was how beautiful your wife was. And we said, Frankie, stop bragging about your doggone wife for the love of God. We got a show to do. And you're like, but only if I could just talk about how beautiful my wife is. Like, no, we're going to talk about DJing. You're like, well, then I have to change my whole plan tonight. But you came along fine.
I think Will Smith needs to open up a wig shop.
A wig shop? Oh, for his wife. You guys aren't gonna come with me on this, dude. You know this is nuts. What? You guys can't pretend this isn't nuts.
Dude, well, here's the thing, though. But Jada Pinkett Smith is saying, okay, because Jada Pinkett Smith apparently has an open relationship, but it's only open on her side. And she's messed up before, had the entanglement, and Will Smith is like, I mean, I feel sorry for the dude. I mean, I don't know, dude. It just seems really strange. Even DJ Clever says, moral support, ? Because, yeah, do you really need to go with your ex on these trips? I mean,
he needs to get out of that marriage, dude. That's what he needs to do. He needs to figure his way out of that marriage.
Yeah. You don't want to be going or letting that happen.
What do you say?
Dude.
What do you say when your spouse says, hey, I'm going to take a trip with my ex?
I don't understand why they're married, Adley.
Yeah.
Haven't you figured that part out? This lady openly admitted to all of us that she had violent sex with a 19-year-old boy and then talked to her husband about it on her podcast. Like, are you out of your mind, dude? What kind of craziness is that? Like, this is bananas. And like everybody on the news, like, they're just in a different kind of marriage, I guess. It's like, what kind of weird? That's the nuttiest marriage I ever heard in my whole life, dude. What do you know? I'm telling the truth, Frankie. Correct or incorrect?
Exactly. I think what it is just that the way that I don't know, humanity has been changing here with all this other stuff, like what you just said right now, that she went and did this thing with her ex and all that stuff, and this way. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's cool.
Not at all. No, it's not.
She didn't do nothing with an ex, Frankie. She found a 19-year-old R&B singer.
Oh, okay.
And went and had relations with this young man. Went and knocked boots, as what was that guy's name? Candyman taught us about. Yeah, that's what she was doing with this 19-year-old man. Then she brought Will Smith on her podcast and told him about it.
It's
dirty,
nasty.
Man.
It's nasty. Yeah, it's just like, oh my gosh.
I just think that there's too much money involved, and then they just get weird.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I feel like once you get like to that, like you can buy a country level of money, then you start being a weirdo. Yeah, because you're not around people. You don't have to go to the grocery store. You don't have to go to Walmart and smell the guy's fart that's standing in front of you. You know what I mean? You don't have to go to the beach and realize, oh man, I didn't pack my suntan lotion. I didn't bring a towel. I got to go back to my house because I can't just buy towels and suntan lotion like a baller like you, Will Smith.
Right.
Yeah, and Will Smith and this girl Cherie, whatever her name is, now they do have a son together, but they split up in 97. So we're talking 25 years ago. Do you always stay in touch with someone like that after 25 years? An ex?
None of my ex-girlfriends ever want to see my face again, Adelaide. Don't you remember, dude? When a woman was done with me, she understood the full term of what hatred was, dude. Every woman that ever left me, and trust me, I never left a woman. I might as well have been the dog poop on their shoes. They hated me so bad. So no, I've never spoken with any of my ex-girlfriends.
Why is Will Smith holding on?
Here's the thing. If you're a married man, you're not supposed to have no female friends. Do you agree with me on that, Frankie?
Yes.
You ain't supposed to be hanging out with no females.
No.
Your wife isn't going to enjoy something like that. And you wouldn't like her hanging out with no fellas.
No. Yeah. She's not going to, she ain't happening with that.
Yeah, so come on.
Mind you, her nickname is Gumby.
Whose nickname is Gumby?
My wife.
Oh, I thought you were talking.
I was like,
my wife is. So, which means that at one time or one time or another in her life, she was a chola.
Oh.
So I ain't gonna touch that.
Oh,
this is probably inappropriate, but I was gonna say, oh, so you're pokey. But that seems really inappropriate. I'm sorry,
Adelaide. It's the man of God you're speaking with.
Yeah, she's a beautiful lady.
I'm telling you right now, this Jada Pinkett Smith, man, she's into like some brujeria or something, bro. Like there's something going on that she's got a spell on this poor fella Will Smith. I feel like she's tricking him in all kinds of stuff. This dude needs to leave, man. Get out.
Yeah.
Because
I don't know, man.
I think they both have enough money.
Yeah. Yeah, just split, dude. You're cool. Before you start hearing about all this weirdness and weird sexuality stuff, didn't you think Will Smith was one of the coolest people ever?
Yeah.
He made
Yeah,
great
back in the
music.
day, man. Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince.
He needs
Classic music.
He needs an
Classic
Uncle
hip-hop.
Phil intervention.
Yeah. Yes. Oh, definitely needs that too. Because, yeah, when he was the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, there was some serious moments there, and the point came across. But now he's not listening to any of that advice he learned from that show. Being an actor for 10 years on that show, it's like, dude, what are you doing? There's something where he doesn't want to divorce.
Think the shows are. You might be right, dude, but this is a nutball. This is a nutball situation here. This lady is a nutball, and it's not like it's like, well, if I leave her, I'm gonna have to split my trailer park. You know, I don't have a trailer or something. You know, and we have one car we're sharing. It's not like that. You know, it's not like they got to worry about money. Seriously.
Yeah. Now Sherilyn says Scientology maybe has something to do with it.
Yeah,
with the relationship.
I believe so.
Does Scientology mean open marriage?
I don't know, man, but all these people into Scientology are the freaky weirdos. And I don't know if Will Smith is a Scientologist, but he does kind of put off that Scientologist vibe, doesn't he?
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
It's a weird world, man, that we can't even enjoy movies anymore. Oof. Like, you can't even go to the movies anymore. It ain't nothing fun anymore. They're ruining everything for us.
Yeah, Pursuit of Happiness was such a good movie.
Yes.
I never seen. Man. Was that the one where he was a doctor?
He was a salesman selling that little doctor invention thing.
Oh,
and he was stuck in the bathroom with his kid.
I mean, I was thinking about Independence Day, dude.
It's a great movie. Great action movie.
Was dope. Ali.
Yeah.
That movie was dope. Wild Wild West. Will Smith just put out a string of them. Will Smith was just like, watch this. Boom, 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 boom. Just great movies. Now he's turning into the Black Nicolas Cage, dude. I'm telling you. You guys agree with me on that?
Yeah, Will Smith for better or for worse, man.
You know, Nick Cage, everything he does is just garbage now. It's like, oh, poor Nick Cage. I'm telling you, man, Will Smith is next, dude. Will Smith straight to that DV. You're going to see him at Redbox, bro. But you never heard the movie before. You're like, Will Smith's in a movie at Redbox I never heard of before? That's when it's bad. All right, what's our next story, Adley?
All right, guys. I think I'm going to jump. I feel like I got some like, oohs and ahs from the climate protesters glue their hands.
Yeah, this is crazy.
Yeah, so they glue their hands to the floor of a car exhibit and get upset when Volkswagen won't bring them bowls to defecate or urinate into. Sorry if that's a little graphic. Now, climate protesters, they had their hands glued. This is out in Germany at the Volkswagen showroom. And they're like, wait, what's going on? Why won't you bring us a bowl? Because we got to use the restroom. Now, protesters... Now, they're with Scientist Rebellion. That's the name of the group. They began the protest, but they didn't plan for what would happen once they needed to use the bathroom. Volkswagen told us that they supported our right to protest, but they refused our request to provide us with a bowl to do the yucky in a decent manner while we're glued and have turned off the heating. So people in support can't get out of the building, tweeted one of the protesters, and he went on to clarify that they were allowed to leave but would not be allowed to return if they did. We can't order our food. We must use the one provided by Volkswagen. I don't know what that means. Lights off, random unannounced checks by security guards with bright torches. Police just came in. Among their demands was the insistence that the German government lower the speed limit to 62 miles an hour.
What's wrong with these people?
Outside of the center, other protesters raised a banner after they threw red paint, apparently symbolizing blood, on the steps of the pavilion. They also vandalized the windows. One of the scientists claimed that climate change was leading to floods and storms and that some regions of the world would probably become uninhabitable in the years to come because of global warming. So it sounds like if we lower the speed limit, it's going to fix the climate change.
How's Volkswagen having to do anything to that? They can't change the speed limit?
Maybe.
They're a car company.
It just seems so strange. And if someone's in my showroom, they got their hands glued to the floor, and then they're like, hey, can you bring us bowls so we can use the bathroom in it? And I'm all like, one, who's going to clean those bowls up? And 2, you should have thought of that before. Because if your hands are glued to the floor, who's unzipping your pants?
Well, and dude, what's my
Not this
showroom
guy.
gonna smell like? I paid for that showroom, dude. You didn't pay for that showroom. That's my showroom. That showroom cost me like $200,000, and now you're all gonna poop and pee on it. I was gonna bring my grandmother over later to see the showroom I'm so proud of.
It would be a bowl of Cocoa Puffs.
Oh man.
Ooh. Oh man, just think, because this is what I would do. I would feed them Taco Bell
Oh no.
and be like, "You guys should have thought of that earlier."
No,
Just
that's a smart move, though.
Yeah, when you want me to hose you down, that nastiness, I will hose you down. But we got to think better than that too. And climate change. Aren't we moving to electric vehicles anyways? Isn't that supposed to be the fix-all? Without getting political or anything, I'm just saying.
I'll get as political as I want to go. Watch this, Frankie, were things this crazy back in the 70s and 80s? Because I don't remember it being this crazy in the 90s and 2000s.
I think the biggest thing in the 70s might have been the feminists burning their bras or something like that.
So they didn't take over an entire downtown
No, I think they
Car shop, car lot.
Mm-hmm.
That's
I just think everything's like getting nuttier and nuttier as the days go on.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of poop. It's just protesters. Come on, use your head, man. What are you gonna glue your hands to the floor? It just,
dude, I feel like in the 80s they would have just put a hose on them. Like, okay, fine, here you go.
oh my gosh,
you can leave whenever you want, man. You can protest here as long as you don't mind me hitting you with this hose. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, it doesn't really say anything else about what they were doing. It's just, okay, the climate change is leading to floods and storms. And I felt like I remember the 80s. There was storms and there was floods, and cars got 12 miles a gallon.
Yep.
So I don't know.
I'm not saying climate change does or doesn't exist, but what I am saying is, how is this going to change it? How is what these people are doing going to change it? I don't get it.
It's bringing awareness to climate change.
Bringing awareness to them having to poop and pee.
And bring me a bowl. Could you, dude?
Yeah.
How awful would that be if you got to
I
use the
know.
restroom and your hands are just stuck and you're like, hey, Mike, dude, Mike, give me a hand over here, bro.
No, man, I told you I don't want to protest here, man. You said there were going to be chicks here. You lied to me.
Oh my gosh, dude. That's
How many dudes went to the protest thinking they were going to pick up chicks? Because I'm telling you right now, no matter what the stupid belief is that people pretend they believe in, whether it's, Occupy Wall Street or what, you name it, this is what it really is. About 30% of people that believe in it. And out of that 30% of people, there's about 3 or 4 good-looking girls. And then a whole 40, 80, 90% of dudes that could give a crap less what they're protesting that are like, maybe I'm going to hook up with that girl. And it's like, not really, bro. But you are going to poop yourself on the floor of the Volkswagen plant.
Scientist rebellion. I feel like a scientist would know that if you eat or drink, eventually
you're gonna have to poop.
You're gonna have to go to the bathroom. But yeah, a bowl. Bring us a bowl.
That is bananas.
How
that they
dare
would think
you?
that. I know. And then
you're not bringing me a bowl. You must be okay with climate change and floods and oh geez.
Yeah, I would just turn the hose on them. I'd be like, yep, and film it too. I want you to put this on TikTok. I want everybody on TikTok to see this. Chino brothers, everybody, Chino brothers. And I'd be spraying them down. Yeah, Chino Brothers podcast, guys. Don't forget to watch. Spraying them down. Because I know all them wallflowers be filming me. Oh, look what my mean boss is doing. I'm not your boss. I told you can't protest. I told you if you did, I'd fire you. As soon as you picked up the picket signs, you were fired.
Oh, that's too funny. But before we go on to our next story, if we got time for one more, can we do a couple more shout outs, guys?
Oh, please.
Got a few more shout outs here. DJ Richie Rich, the official. Yeah, he's from
what's happening, Richie Rich?
Yeah, the Condors
Condor.
DJ, right? Yeah.
Yep.
And I feel like, yeah. Oh, and just Clever wanted to tell him about your long hair.
I forgot about that.
The long hair.
Yeah,
I think everybody had how long was it?
Mine was down to my waist.
Wow.
Just in the back, though, right? You had short on the sides, right?
Kind of, yeah, short on the side.
It was a mullet, but we didn't call them mullets back then.
I had a shave around. You know, where you just had the hair that come down like this. Adley, you remember when I had the shave around and I put the shades right here on top of it?
Yeah.
I had long hair.
Oh, and the front was blonde.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Very cool.
Yeah.
And Paulo Campo just made a comment. I don't think we shouted him out, but he said beauty is a light switch away.
Oh, that's what
talking
we're
about
talking
the girls.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about. The pretty versus the ugly. We didn't get any other responses for the pretty versus the ugly.
Probably. Yeah. Well, let's see. But Dan Ramos, sorry. Mike Carnell, Frankie Party Boy Perez. Much love to the Chino Bros from DJ Will Play. Nice.
Thank you, DJ Will Play.
Yeah, thanks, man. Nice.
This is a podcast for DJs by DJs. What do you think about it so far, Frankie? You enjoying yourself?
Oh yeah, yep.
Adley, what's our last story before we send Mr. Perez to bed?
A quick DJ Redeem saying, "What's up,
man?
fellas?"
We've been talking about you all night, dude.
Yeah,
his ears must have been burning, huh, Frankie?
Yeah.
I think and then James. Oh yeah, James Warris.
Yep.
My brother.
Nice.
All right, what's our last story, Ad?
All right, let me pull it up here, gentlemen. 1 second. I don't know. The stripper dances in the high school, which seems
weird.
Crazy. And then let's see. Eminem's 8 Mile royalties are still paying Havoc from Mobb Deep.
I think that's an interesting story.
Okay. And it's not as racy either.
Yeah.
Oddly so. Eminem's 8 Mile movie was a huge box office smash, and Mobb Deep's Havoc has admitted to Hip Hop DX that it's still paying some of his bills. The Queensbridge producer and lyricist said he was taken aback when he first saw the iconic scene of M's B Rabbit, his character freestyling over Mobb Deep's Shook Ones over the instrumental. He says, I was really taken aback because I didn't even know if Eminem was a fan. So to hear that, I found out he was a fan, and then the cha-ching sound went off in my head. It bought me this Fendi sweater. So, 8 Mile, 20 plus years old now, 20-ish years old.
You know what it is? It's the underbeat of when Eminem and the guys are battling. For everybody in the 313, put your hands up and ride with me. It's doom.
It's kind of that eerie kind of beat. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the Mobb Deep song.
Yeah. So and he's getting paid off
time for no halfway crooks.
Yeah. Shook Ones. Yeah, great classic song. I just think it's great to see that after all these years that Mobb Deep, Havoc still getting paid on it
for no reason. That's awesome.
Just because they use the beat, which is great. Yeah, so I think that's really dope. One of my last shows in Arizona before I moved to Bakersfield was Mobb Deep was there. So
all right, hold on. Really cool. Here's my question for you though. Okay, should artists get paid for their songs? Like every other person does a job and you get paid, there's your job, it's done. Should artists get paid for their songs for the rest of their lives? Or should it's like, hey man, you got paid. You made the song, you got paid. What do you guys think?
That's just a copyright thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a copyright thing. But the thing is artists live on their songs forever. And it's like, I can understand that. But then other artists get their songs ripped off and they get real mad about it. And I kind of feel like, well, I'm going to go to work tomorrow and whatever I do isn't going to pay me for the rest of my life. So you should probably go to work tomorrow and get something to pay you the next day and the next day and the next day.
Yeah.
Like you don't get a nickel for every car that goes over those roads, Frankie.
No, I don't get anything.
And I bet you it's a lot harder. I bet you it's
no royalties paid.
Road.
Yeah, on the road. Yeah. That's an interesting point though to think about because they still go on tour. You still got these old school artists. I mean, even pre-COVID, maybe it was Brenton Wood, Barbara Wash, right? Played at Mechanics Bank Theater here, and it was packed. But it was like with NB Riders and MC Magic. So, but
you know how come Brenton Wood had to? You know how come Brenton Wood had to go on that tour?
Why?
Because Art LeBeau owned all his music, dude. Yeah. Art owned all his music.
Yeah, with him, with Brenton Wood.
Say again.
I said I got to DJ with Bretton Wood one time.
Oh, really?
Fun
hear
dude,
him.
and he was like 85, still getting
Yeah.
down on stage, man, and dressing sharp. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
if he
yeah.
would have had the royalties to his songs back, he wouldn't have had to be going out DJing and singing 18 with the Bullet at 85 years old. Poor guy. I can't even imagine hearing that song from an 85-year-old man, because you got to sing pretty high on that song.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah. Oh, yeah. But he did a great job, if I remember correctly. But you think about it too.
His music was good, though. You got to admit that. That Brent
It is
Wood,
really
dude, he
good.
could sing, bro. But anyways,
Really
go on.
good. I was just gonna say that a lot of these artists with one hit,
Yeah.
after 20 years, you're not really getting those royalties you used to get. You're not selling as much as you used to. You're not streaming on Spotify's and Pandora's, so you're not even getting that trickling money in, because you're losing it to, the Taylor Swifts or the whatevers, the Ed Sheeran's, whatever. Not knocking them by any means. I'm just saying, over time, your music gets forgotten. So you're like picking up shows for $1,500 or whatever. So I
real
still
quick,
think there's a work aspect to it.
Adley, are you getting uncomfortable with me talking about Art Laboe, or do you not care?
No. Well,
Okay,
rest
good
in
then.
peace.
Yeah,
Art
rest in
LeBeau,
peace,
first
Art
of all.
Laboe.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
How much do you think he paid Bretton Wood for the rights to the songs?
A peanut butter and jelly sandwich and a Diet Coke.
I bet you it was like 20 grand. I bet you it was like 20 grand. What do you think, Frankie?
I'd say 20 grand.
Yeah.
It wasn't a lot of money though.
And then he'd play him all over his radio stations. Didn't you ever notice on them Sunday night oldie shows? Bretton Wood was like every hour he played 3 Bretton Wood songs because he owned the rights to them.
Yes.
And then what was the commercials? Got Wood? Yes, Brenton Wood. And then he played them silly Bretton Wood songs, and then he'd be like, "Call now to order from Art Laboe's best collection." Of course, man. This is exactly how it went. Some like 46-year-old cholo that just got a CD player because it's like 1992 or something. He's like, "I'm buying that Art Laboe CD." That's how Art Laboe sold all them CDs, bro. I'm telling you right now.
What was his CD? It was oldies but goodies.
Yeah.
Was his like series of CDs. Yeah, because I felt like even at the station we worked at, because Frankie, the first station me and Mike worked at, was owned by Art Laboe. Well, together, first station together was owned by Art Laboe, and we'd have our Christmas parties, and radio was like whatever we could trade. Oh, you want a 4-pack of pizzas to blah 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 or whatever was traded for. But then someone would win the 10 CD box set of the oldies but
Art
goodies from
Laboe,
Art Laboe. Yeah. So but that's tough, man. If you're one of those artists, and that's probably why Bretton Wood's doing shows, because he's all, I didn't plan one. Well, not to sound, I didn't plan that I was going to live this long and be, I still have to be taken care of. I still got to pay the bills.
He's like, I didn't plan that Art Laboe would have beat me in that poker game and taken the rights to 18 with a bullet.
Oh, such a good song too. Yeah. So, but a lot of these guys, and then the flip side is, if you're in your 50s, you had a hit back in the 90s, you're kind of like, well, I can still work. I might as well make some money.
No, I'm not mad at Bretton Wood for working. And honestly, I kind of feel like they probably should get paid for the songs. I mean,
yeah,
because here's my thing. If I enjoy it, then you should probably, if I'm still enjoying it, you should probably still get paid for it. However, that being said, you guys remember that movie La Bamba from the 1980s about Richie Valens? You guys remember that movie?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Art Laboe owned almost every song in that movie, dude. Almost every song. That Big Bopper song, Art Laboe owned that song.
Wow.
That O'Donna song, Art Laboe owned that song. Oh, what was the other one that he owned?
He didn't own La Bamba though.
No, but he owned that Blue Dream, that
Sleepwalk.
Yeah, Sleepwalk.
Okay, yeah,
he
great
owned
song,
Sleepwalk, dude. I'm like, how many people did he trick, and how did he trick them? But they must have just been broke because like the records weren't playing anymore, and maybe there was drug habits or something, and he was just like, all right, well, what do you think, Frank?
I don't.
Oh, you don't? Yeah, I don't blame you.
No, I can never figure out the whole copyright thing, but I know that for a lot of artists, that just leaves them high and dry.
Yeah, I think they did it on their low, though. I think, it's like, you're Donnie Marie in 1984. Well, you're the greatest thing that ever lived, but you're Donnie and Marie in 1991. It was like, And so someone comes over, hey, look, I'll give you a couple grand for that. Okay, cool. But if they own radio stations and do that, now that's kind of got the fixes in there.
But nowadays, dude, you go to YouTube and you got these guys that I feel like aren't that good in the hip hop rap scene, but they ran a Lamborghini, they got a lot of jewelry, and they got 2 minutes of mumble rap that you can't understand, but it's got 10 million views and they're getting paid. That's the flip side. That's like,
all right, Frankie.
But anyways,
do you have anything you want to plug? Is there a club you're doing, or
how do they get a hold of you to DJ?
Yeah,
you can find me on Facebook, Frankie Perez, Instagram. That's pretty much all I do. Social media is just that, pretty plain and simple.
No TikTok.
No TikTok.
Okay.
No, I'm not. My wife likes TikTok.
Well, tell her to follow the Chino brothers, but tell her all we do is make fun.
All we do is make fun of the government. To Sheila, she's watching in the bedroom.
Hey, who do you want to shout out? Do you want to give any shout outs there?
My wife Sheila.
Well, you just did, Sheila.
I did that one. Oh, yeah. Anybody else? My cousin Martin, I kind of just bypassed him in this thing. He popped up on the bottom and did a little shout out. He was my first partner to DJ, and my mom. My mom, she's the one that played records when I was a kid. And I just sit there and watch her drink her beer and sing the songs, and big Janis Joplin fan. And
nice.
Yeah, I bought her a record. I'm not giving it to her because she's got grandkids that'll take it from her. And I actually found the Pearl album in Morro Bay.
Oh, wow.
Pearl album I think I paid $20 for it.
Wow.
Yep.
That's how you know it's a real DJ. He tells you what he paid for the record. And both of us know how he found it. He was digging
part is I was telling Sheila, I says, hey, look, it's the Pearl album. It's only $4.95. And she looks at it, she goes, that's probably the original price. It's not $4.95.
Not in today's dollars. That ain't $4.95.
Hey, $20, man. That's still a pretty good seal.
Yeah.
And it was in good condition.
And then the next time we went back to Morro Bay, she finds Purple Rain.
Oh, wow.
For $20?
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a bargain.
Yeah.
That's a bargain.
Where's this? Is the person just a dumb person that's selling these records? He doesn't understand how records work, or what?
Yeah. I can walk away with 20, 30, 45s easy.
Oh,
Frankie's not going to tell us where this record store is.
I know.
You can tell us when we end the podcast.
Has a lot if you go to the antique stores.
Yeah. Okay.
Antique stores. Yeah, I could see that. I knew he was doing that type of stuff. I knew he didn't have a spot. I knew he was digging
random places, just like, oh, there's a crate. Let me look through it.
Yeah, that's what DJs do, dude. And then you can't leave the thrift store. It's like, come on, I'm telling you, you don't want that Muppets record. Leave it alone.
On the downside, my mom's house burnt here. About 6 or 8 months ago.
Yikes!
All her records, all my records.
Oh, that is sorrowful.
I had them stored at my mom's house.
That is sorrowful.
That's sad. So sorry.
Nobody got hurt though. Nobody got hurt.
We're gonna start a GoFundMe for vinyl for you. Everybody donate a couple pieces of vinyl to Frankie, man.
Yeah,
that sucks.
Yeah,
oh my
horrible.
gosh, dude. I got records that just sit in my room, for years because I don't play records anymore, but they're there, and I'll never. You could say I'll give you $5 million for your vinyl. I'll still I don't know, maybe 5 million, but it'd be tough to let it go. No matter.
You love
what
your vinyl that much, dude?
Yeah.
I
don't. Yeah, because I'd be with $5 million, you can replace it all probably twice. But if someone said I'll give you 20 grand, 30 grand, I'd be like, I don't know, man.
All right, well, let's get Frankie back to his life. Let's wrap up this episode. Frankie, thank you so much for coming on this episode, man. It was a blessing.
Yeah,
man, we really appreciate you. We hope you enjoyed yourself. Hang out for just a second in the green room. We're going to hang up on everybody. All right, guys, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. We're at 8,400 on YouTube. TikTok's trying to kick us off at 3,000, but we put a side account. So look for Chino Brothers 2 on TikTok if you're watching on YouTube. Nice. And we'll put videos on both until they kick us off our original account, and then we'll have our second account. All right, guys. We'll see you next time.
Awesome.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Appreciate